Steve Nash, no experience, hired by the Nets. We talked about it. It happened just at the end of our program when we were wrapping up at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Then Stephen A. went on the air, went on First Take, and he said the two words.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no way around this. This is white privilege. This does not happen for a black man. No experience whatsoever on any level as a coach, and you get the Brooklyn Nets job. I'm thinking about a champion that is Ty Lue, passed up. I'm thinking about a guy who built the foundation for the Golden State Warriors in Mark Jackson, passed up. I'm thinking about the years that Sam Cassell has served as an assistant, passed up. And it's for a guy, my God, one of the best guys you could possibly meet in your life, but a guy that has no experience whatsoever.
Okay, I will also go ahead. You guys are hot on this. Go ahead.
Man, look, I sometimes I call him Preacher Stephen A. And that's my homie. That's the big brother. But
he'll be joining us. You can have that conversation.
We'll talk with him about it. Mark Jackson got his gig without any head coaching experience. Jason Kidd got his gig without any head coaching experience. With the Nets. Isaiah Thomas got a job without any head coaching experience. Magic Johnson got a head coaching job without any head coaching experience. And all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that narrative does not exist. It is factual, and I get how we talk about that with the NFL, right?
Yeah.
And I hear what he's saying. But at the same time, I'm sitting there saying, well, wait a second. You have two black superstars in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving who ultimately signed off on that deal. Mm-hmm. Signed off on that deal. So, I went on the internet the other day. I was like, look, I think that's black privilege. And what black privilege means to me is that we have people in positions of power, Key, that are able to make those decisions that are black, that are saying, so it's reversed on his back. So I'm saying, so now you're going to call that reverse racism? Like, it's just a different time and age. And I don't think that white privilege comment was applicable to the Nets situation.
No, I don't think it. Yeah, no, it wasn't for me at all. And it is hard. I understand what Stephen A. was trying to go, and I understand that narrative for many years in all businesses and walks of life is that way. That's why I always say, if I'm ever running a team, my entire family will be there working because I'm going to use my influence and my power to bring them in. Steve Nash is just different for me, right? I mean, it's just, and Stephen A. alluded to some of that. I mean, he almost feels like a brother to me. And I know Steve personally. And so when I look at others that have the opportunity maybe to get that job, relationships go a long way when you get hired with things. One of the reasons that I'm back on national scene is because I have relationships at ESPN that knew me and I had good work and they hired me before and they knew I wasn't going to screw it up. So relationships go a long ways. You look at the New York Giants and Joe Judge with no head coaching experience whatsoever.
Never coordinated. First year on the job.
Well, they moved the goalpost several times on the coordinator. Before it was defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator.
Sure.
Now all of a sudden you can be a special teams coordinator.
But I would tell you, John Harbaugh was a special teams coordinator, became the head coach of the Ravens.
But that was 10,000 years ago, right? I mean, but they moved the goalpost recently on that. So, but Joe Judge becomes a head coach of a great franchise here in New York, different than Steve Nash. Steve Nash got all the skins on the walls, respect.
Can I give you the skins?
Kevin Durant signed off on it, the whole deal.
Here are the skins. 2-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, led the league in assists 5 times, and is a Naismith Hall of Famer.
And it's not even his statistics. To me, it's the respect. Much like JWill said, you got Kevin Durant signing off on it and Kyrie Irving. I'm going to do what the hell they want, black or white. I'm giving them dudes about $500 million between the two of them.
They want who's the most competent, right?
Yeah.
You can say, hey, Sam Cassell was out there. Okay, but Sam Cassell needs to have
Sam Cassell. They wanted Steve Nash.
And he needs to have a relationship with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I'm not sure that he has that to that degree. It brings up a different point because I feel like if Stephen A. went here, it would have been a more intriguing conversation. And Key, I'll ask you about this. Is it, and I was on our show a couple weeks ago and we were talking about black guilt, right? Like doing more for the black community. So then the conversation.
On our show?
Well, just very quickly.
I'm just sorry
right?
I missed that.
I know you. Well, because you didn't say it.
Okay, all right,
That's
go
why
ahead.
you missed it.
Go ahead.
If Stephen A. had positioned this, well, does Kevin Durant and Kyrie need to hire a black coach? Do they feel responsibility to hire a black coach? Now, look, I argue against that because we talk about relationships, right? We talk about that meaning something, and that you have to have a relationship. Like, do you just go out and say, I'm just going to go out and hire somebody because they're a color?
No.
Right? Like, you also have to have a relationship with me. I have to understand your character. I'm just not going to hire you by the color of your skin. It's going to be by the content of your character at the same time, right?
Famously said.
Exactly. By Martin Luther King.
Famously said.
Okay.
Both for y'all. I love it.
So, that's my thing, right? But that should have been the conversation. I don't think that Sean Marks is saying, I'm in white privilege, I'm going to hire a white coach. Ultimately, like, knowing that we're in these times of Black Lives Matter, we're in these times of protest, knowing where KD stands, knowing what KD has done in the DMV area, building out a school in the DMV area.
D.C., Maryland, Virginia.
Yes,
his
knowing
home
that
region.
Kyrie Irving was the first guy to be like, we should boycott. Like, donating money to all these different, that's not the case.
No, it's all about the relationship in this situation and what the star players want. And if the star players wanted Ty Lue, I'm sure they would have got Ty Lue. If they wanted Mark Jackson, I'm sure they would have gotten Mark Jackson. All of these guys, Sam Cassell, Mark Jackson, Ty Lue, and whoever else is out there, are deserving of a job in the NBA, no questions whatsoever. Except the two stars wanted Steve Nash.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.